Hi there, you're watching The Appreciationist. My name is Peter Hartman,
I'm Beidi Wang.
And I'm Samantha Barley.
and tonight we are talking about memories, ideas, and storytelling. So later on, one or all of us will share a story, an idea, a memory that we learned something from that was uplifting in some way or notable in any way. So stay tuned for that. It's actually a rehash of the conversation we had on the mountain in Mont Royal outdoors this, I don't know, what was it, Saturday? How
Saturday.
long?
Saturday.
Saturday. So that was a lot of fun. So we're going to do it here on the show tonight. But before we get to that, I have to let you know what I learned this week. The top of the show, the segment, what I learned this week. I learned a few things actually. I learned how to. So I talked, I think last week about making barbecue sauce, and one of the components is a vegetable broth. And then yesterday, I had no more broth left. And so I was like, well, how do I make vegetable broth? And so I looked up a recipe, and I have this tendency, I just look at the recipe and I just try to figure it out what I want. So I put a pot of boiling water, and I just dumped in all kinds of vegetables and spices and all that stuff. And it worked out. Actually, it was a very interesting barbecue sauce. So that was a lot of fun. But what I learned was there's something else that I learned. I don't know if you definitely haven't heard about this, and it's a little strange. But do you know that in the near future, when you're going to be chatting with companies online, you're actually going to be chatting with robots. Have you guys ever heard of this? Bots? So
No.
you'll open up the Pizza Hut app, and so I'm just hearing an echo here. You'll open up the Pizza Hut app, and what'll happen is that you'll be chatting with a robot, and you'll tell the robot what you want, and the robot will order the food for you, and it won't be a human person. I imagine it'll extend to customer service and things like that. So right now, when you call customer service, you have the IVR, but it's gonna seem like a real person.
There's there was actually an app that I found when I was looking up like fitness apps or something about that, and it's like I think it's one to help people lose weight. I don't remember what it is now. I don't know, but it was like a chat thing. Like so, you go in here and it's like this virtual life coach sort of thing where they ask you like, so what did you eat today? And then you type it in, and they'll tell you like, oh, that was very healthy, or oh, maybe you should consider eating this instead. And like it like chats with you, like automatic responses, but like based on what you're writing. So
That's
yeah.
right, and using natural language, and so it'll be conversational. It'll ask questions, and it'll be a robot. So I don't know how you feel about that. It's a little creepy, but the best technologies are often a little creepy. So that's what I learned. And the thing I really learned this week was that human beings respond. Sam, I think I'm hearing an echo. If you can just mute yourself. Um, Human beings respond far more effectively to lists than they do to blocks of text. So if I write a text out and I say something like, "Oh, about rituals in the morning and what you can do and blah blah blah," if you write that in a block text in a paragraph, people won't respond to it as much as if you write a list of 5, 10 things to do in the morning. I didn't really. I mean, I knew the power of lists, but I never really considered that a lot of the paragraphs that I write can just be written in a list form, and even when we're speaking, to say in a list form. So I thought that was kind of cool. If you're out there trying to communicate to people, you want to talk to your boss, want to talk to your kids, whatever it is, make a list, say it in list form. People listen to that. So that's what I learned this week. We're going to move on to the most important segment of the show, which is called a moment of appreciation. And that's where we look back at the past 7 days and we pick out something that we appreciate. It could be something. Does anybody else want to do this? I do it the exact same way every week. No, you guys don't know it by heart yet. You can pick out something, say something good that happened that's easy to appreciate, or it could be something that wasn't so great, but that you can see the value in now. Come on, you've heard this before. Let's get it done. Moment of appreciation time. Who wants to go first?
Oh, I thought Sam is ready.
Sam is ready.
Okay, I'll go. Well, today was a really special day for me. I had an interview this morning, and it's all the way in Anjou, and I'm in Ile-et-Bizarre, so it was a bit far. But it's first time ever that potentially I could work for a Chinese boss. So I could eventually maybe use my Chinese language skill. So I was really excited. I prepared a lot for it, and luckily I went there The traffic is okay. I arrived on time. The interview went amazing. I liked the boss. I hope they like me too. And I came back okay. On the way back, somehow GPS led me through this really slow route. But I saw a lot of green sunshine parks. It was nice.
That's really cool. I like that. I hope you get the job. It sounds like it could be fun for you. I remember working in Anjou. It should take me an hour to get to work, an hour and a half to get back home. A lot of thinking time, a lot of time to think when you're traveling there.
But this boss, she told me she doesn't care what time I work as long as I get my things done. I was like, oh my god, that's amazing.
Well, that's excellent. That is, look, that's a dream, right? That's really, really cool. Well, look, awesome. Congratulations. I hope it goes well. I'm glad that the interview went well. It's really good. It's a good emotional boost when you're on a job hunt and an interview goes well. So I can imagine how good that feels. Really cool.
Thank you.
Sam, you want to go or should I?
Sure, I'll go. So mine is Saturday. So I had planned an appreciation walk like last minute for Saturday, and then I saw that the weather wasn't looking so good. Even in the morning, like I wrote, oh, I'm happy to see you guys soon, and then like 2 minutes later it was raining, and I was like not sure what to do, so I messaged one of the meetup members, one of my friends, and she was like, no, umbrellas, and I was like, all right, all right, we'll go. Because I'm the type who, doesn't really enjoy walking in the rain, it's not my thing. But I was like, no, there's people who are still willing to go, so I'm going to go. I'm going to make an effort. And you and I, Peter, were wondering, should we cancel the community discussion or not? And so I ended up going on my appreciation walk. There were 4 of us, so 4 people who trekked out. And honestly, it hardly rained at all. Like, there were a few drops at some points, but walking on the mountain, so we went to Mount Royal, walking on the mountain for 2 hours, about 2 hours, less than that. The fresh air from the trees, the exercise, like we were speed walking, so we were getting like, our blood flowing. It was wonderful. And then at the end of the walk, I always plan it this way. Well, when Peter has a discussion, we ended up sitting and having a discussion and like a impromptu potluck, because Peter and I, the morning of, we were like, oh, if anybody wants to bring food, do it. So we brought food. We had a wonderful community discussion, hearing people's stories, getting to know them in a different way. Did I mention there was food? Oh, there was wine. So yeah, we had a wonderful Saturday afternoon, and yeah, that's my moment. It was great.
That's really awesome. Hey, didn't somebody find... Did I understand right? Did somebody find alcohol?
Yeah.
On your walk?
Yeah, the person who came on the walk with us had found like alcohol hidden in a bush, and so he shared it with people, and it was closed, and yeah, it was very random.
I didn't hear the part about it being hidden in the bush. Maybe we could have said that out loud, but that's really cool. I tasted it. It was really cool. My moment of appreciation really tails into that, because we had the outdoor discussion. I was going to cancel it. I mean, it was raining, and I was surprised by how many people turned out. I think there were 13 people out there sitting outside. You can see pictures on our meetup page at meetup.com/TLOAMTL. And I felt it was a cold day, but I felt warm-hearted. I felt warm because people showed up, and we sat down and we shared stories, and we shared our memories, and it was very interesting to learn about everybody else. And even it got a little chillier as we were there, and people were covering up, you included, and people still stayed. And that's the power of good conversation. That's the power of good company, and it really made me feel very good. I'm looking forward to planning another one in warmer weather. It was really a lot of fun. So I was really surprised by how many people turned out, and I just felt really good. Yeah. So that was my moment of appreciation. I also did. I entered a comedy competition, stand-up comedy competition this Monday, and I got past the qualifying rounds. So I competed against 15 comics. I was one of 6 who moved on forward, and I was really happy about that. And then our members came out to support me, Sam included, so that was a lot of fun. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Oh no, let's not talk about food. Let's leave the food talk until the end of the show. So that's it for a moment of appreciation. If you have a moment of appreciation, please feel free to send that to us. Maybe we'll even read it on the air if you like. If you want to tweet it or put it on Facebook, you can use the hashtag Did I say what a great idea? I meant moment of appreciation. So that's MOA, moment of appreciation, hashtag there. Look, next segment is called What a Great Idea. Sam and I were having a little disagreement as to what hashtag we should use. Sam wants to use the hashtag What a Great Idea, and that's fine. I mean, that works. But other people use it. And so I want to use the hashtag WAGI. And Sam was like, no, not good.
I wasn't sure there. I said, ask Tom.
Ask Tom, yeah. So we'll see. I don't know. So what a great idea this week comes from Sam. She provided us with a great idea this week. Just to let you know, what a great idea is where I point you towards a product, a service, a website, an idea that is deserving of your attention, because whatever we give our attention to becomes a greater part of our experience. So why not give our attention to some great ideas? This week's idea is called Spot Fund. It's an app called Spot Fund, one word, and it allows you to contribute micro donations to a cause that you believe in. Okay, so you turn on the news, you hear about the water crisis in Flint, Michigan. You hear that children are being poisoned by lead in the water, and you want to do something about it. Well, you can go to this app, $1, $2, $3. You contribute to this to support this cause, and it's a great way to, and it also shares it on social media. So it's a great way to get the word out, and it's also a great way for you to take action on something, and even if it's a small action that can affect, that can create some big change. So really good find there, Sam. Spotfund.com, and that's the app. It's on the App Store, I believe. It's free. Hey. Would you ever donate to a cause, $1, $2 to a cause?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool.
To, is it Kickstarter or Indiegogo every once in a while? Yeah, a couple bucks here and there.
Yeah, it's cool. It really does help. Look, today's topic is memories, ideas, and storytelling. And honestly, we can say anything we want here. It's just I like when something has a purpose to what we're saying. So whether it's uplifting, interesting. Look, I'm just going to say something silly, okay? This is counter to what I was just saying, but I asked Sam the other day, and Beidi, maybe I'll ask you this question. Would you, and this is an idea, okay, would you replace your heart? Remember this, Sam? Would you replace your heart with an artificial heart that allows you to run faster, think better, better blood flow, being able to breathe, hold your breath in longer, whatever it is, really increase your stamina, increase your mental acuity, but you lost a heartbeat. You didn't have heartbeat anymore. Would you take this device and replace your heart with an artificial device? I think we're going to have to start
for the sake of being innovative, why not?
Yeah, for the sake of being innovative, yeah, absolutely.
Well, I think what I was saying is that I would if I could like test it out or something, and you said no, and I was like part of me wants to say yes, you know, but then I'm like, what's really attached to the heart, you know? Like I've seen things that say like we have this heart sort of thing around us, like that it, you know, yeah, this field. I don't know, so it's very hard to. I don't know.
I've heard anecdotal stories about how memories exist in the heart, in the tissue of the heart. I don't know. I've heard stories of heart transplants where people remember things from the person they got the heart from.
Wow.
Very strange. Actually, this idea came about because I heard of a man who had a transplant, and you know, he was going to die, and he had this transplant, and it didn't give him all these superpowers, but he did lose his heartbeat, and it completely freaked me out when I heard this. I was like, what a crazy idea. Would you do that to save your life, you know? But today I was watching some videos about some cooking stuff, okay, desserts, okay? Just so you know, I'm not a dessert eater, really, and I think our society has a crazy obsession with desserts. I don't know if you all feel the same, but I kept thinking, you know, what would it be like if someone from the olden times was able to eat one of our desserts? How would they feel about it? I saw today it was a banana bread banana split. So it was a thick slice of banana bread, and then 3 scoops of ice cream, whipped cream, sprinkles, raspberries, another thing of banana bread squished into like an ice cream sandwich topped with caramel. And I was like, I don't know, like how would Caesar, like what did they eat back then? Would they consider that to be good or bad? I think it's kind of weird.
I don't think that they would like it if they don't already have sugar. Like if they're just eating fruits and things like that, then it would be way too sweet. Like even myself, like sometimes I like am not eating as much sugar, and then I go and I have a chocolate bar, and I'm like, oh, this tastes fake. Like it just doesn't taste like real food because it's not. You know, it's like not good for us, and so I think that they would be pretty grossed out by it. Yeah.
I don't know.
Unless they're eating like lots of honeys and things like that, and they do already have sweet tooths, but otherwise it's like it's people who don't eat sugar and then they eat that. It's gross.
Yeah, I learned the same way too. You know, they didn't have processed sugar. They didn't have access to sugar the way we do, and we've developed I want to say a sweet tooth, but we got a sweet mouth now. We got a full dental cavity full of. Anyway, okay, so I want to tell you a story, and if it triggers anything in your mind, then you can share a story if you'd like. Okay? Is that cool?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a story. Oh, I hope I haven't said it on the show before, but anyway, it's a story about Sam and I. We were in Mexico, I think it was, and I decided to go out for a swim. Okay, Sam knows this story. So I went into the ocean. Now, just a little backstory. I had seen a movie called Gattaca. Beidi, have you ever seen the movie called Gattaca?
I don't remember the name. What was the movie about?
So the movie is about was a futuristic movie, and I won't bore you with the details, except for this one scene where two brothers they decide to go for a swim in the ocean, and they want to see who can swim the furthest. And the two brothers, they swim out, and one brother wins and the other one loses. And when they both come back to shore, the brother who lost, asks the other brother, "How did you do that? I mean, how did you swim that far?" And the brother who won, he says, "Because I didn't save anything for the return trip." And I was like, pretty cool, pretty awesome. So I decided, I'm in Mexico, my brother's not there, but I'm going to compete against myself. So I go into the water and I start swimming as far as I could, okay? I'm swimming until I'm exhausted, until I can barely move my arms. I'm going and I don't look back, okay? And I swim out into the ocean, and then finally I'm exhausted, and I get to the point, and then I turn around, and then I see the shore, and my God, I started crying because I was so far away and so exhausted. I said, I just killed myself. I mean, I just committed suicide. That's what I just did right now. I didn't save anything for the return trip. And so I decided, okay, well, if I'm going to drown, I might as well drown closer to shore. You know, maybe I'll have a chance of someone saving me. So I swim back to shore. It takes forever. I have to stop and float in the water to sort of relax my arms. And finally, I make it back to shore, spoiler alert, and I don't even have the energy to walk. I'm crawling onto the beach with my sand, and I fall onto the ground, and people who saw me are laughing out loud. And that's when I realized, I had more gas in the tank, you know? I had more to me. I didn't save anything for the return trip, but I found it on my way back, and I felt so proud of myself. I promised myself never to do it again, but I felt so proud of myself to realize that, you know, when you think you can't go any further, you can. So that's my story. I didn't die.
I'm glad you didn't die.
So, Samantha, were you worried when you see him going that far?
I had no idea what he was doing. I was snorkeling and in my own world, so I had no clue.
Okay, that's good.
So yeah, so that's my story. I know I like these things where we do little crazy things and you learn something about yourself. I remember a story that Beidi told us about. Was it you didn't go snowshoeing? Was that you?
Yes, she did. Well, she went hiking, right? Hiking.
It was hiking. It was winter hiking. I didn't buy. I mean, I bought snowshoes after, but I didn't go with snowshoes. I just went on a hiking weekend. It was long weekend. So we went to Mount Mégantic, Mount Offord, and I think that's it. And then we stayed at the chalet, and the route was tough. And yeah, I felt really challenged. Because normally on the normal elevation, on the ground, I mean, like hiking on the even ground, I'm fine. I'm totally fine. I can walk really fast. But when there's elevation, it's a lot more challenge. And when you're stepping on like a little and big stones and you don't know which one is stable, which one is not, and you tend to really try to choose your steps more carefully.
Well, I get that. Well, spoiler alert again, Beidi did survive, in case you were wondering, and so she's here. That's really cool. How about you, Sam?
And Peter, that story. Sorry, I remembered another story, like based on your, like you really try your best, and at the end you get more. And so I remember when I was in the gym, multiple times I was in this super workout for an hour and a half. It's really tough. It's 1 hour, whole hour of jumping around, and half an hour of weightlifting at the end, and stretching. So the first time I attended class, I was really exhausted. And my friend had a really red face, and she was like, I was about to give up. And then I keep going for a month, and after a month, I feel like, well, an hour and a half, it doesn't feel like anything. So that part, I just, one day I was thinking to myself that sometimes the mind tells us to stop, or maybe we cannot get there, but actually, if you try, your body could pull you through any mental issue. And the moment I realized that, I kind of got myself out of that depression state that I had.
That's really cool. I like that. That's absolutely on point. I grew up in church. It told us the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. You know, and if you rely on the spirit, then you can do a lot more than you imagine. Really, really cool. Thank you for sharing that story, Beidi. I know Sam has to go, so I want to ask her. Do you have a story for us, Sam?
Oh, sorry.
I honestly am not sure. I was trying to think of one, and then I'm thinking back, and I mean, I'll say this one like sort of quickly, but I mean, some people don't know that when I was younger, I was addicted to drugs. When I was a teenager, like pretty heavily, and I went to many different rehabs. I tried all sorts of different rehab centers, and I kept relapsing. I was just really addicted. I was unhappy. I hated myself. Really difficult times. And then I went to the right place. I went to a drug rehab center, and at 18, and I lived there for 10 months. I lived in rehab with other adults for 10 months of my life, doing groups, learning about feelings, learning about myself, interacting with people, expressing my emotions, figuring out what was going on with me. I mean, I was only able to leave there every 3 weeks for a weekend, and the rest of it was like intense therapy and intense cleaning, because we were always cleaning things and talking at the same time. And that experience, like, I mean, that is why I'm doing what I'm doing. I discovered so much about myself and so much about life, because one of the interesting things was I was only 18, 19 when I was there, and everybody else was like adults. I mean, there were some people my age, but not really. And so I really got to see, like, what have these people experienced? There were people from jail, people from the street, then, you know, business people, like all sorts of different people who were in this same program with me that I lived with. And so we like created these strong bonds, these connections, and I really discovered a lot about people and about what makes them tick and what are the difficulties that they go through. And I mean, through that, I discovered so much about myself. And I mean, that experience was like horrible in the sense that, like, nobody really wants to be in rehab. Nobody wants to be doing this, except that it was so valuable because it made me who I am now. I changed so much. Now I'm turning 33 in a few days. So this was back when I was 19, and my whole thing, I mean, I'm a life coach now, but my whole process began there. Like, that's where it really changed who I am, and if I hadn't have done that, I don't know where I would be. I wouldn't be anywhere good. Yeah, and so that experience was just life-changing. And then I went, and I was 19. I finished high school finally after my program, and then I did some odd jobs, worked at Krispy Kreme, these sort of things, a bank, and then I worked for a rehab center, the same one, for 7 years, and was the person that helped other people change. And it just that's my story, and I don't often talk about it just because it was so long ago to me. Like, it really feels like a different person because I've improved so much and my life is so different. But it's, yeah, I should probably talk about it more because it is it changed me. Yeah.
That's beautiful. I love it. Not much more to add there, except to say, most people I find they want to find a pleasant life. They want a life where things go easy, where things go well. But honestly, I don't spend much of my time trying to make things go well. I accept that it's those challenges, those hard times that really are formative, that really help us to become who we want to be. And so I wake up in the morning just seeking to be open to whatever experience that I can, and I love hearing these stories. I think it was Sam who introduced me to this power of positive thinking way back when.
I introduced you to like acknowledging your feelings, like paying attention to how you feel. That was the biggest thing that I think I introduced you to back in the day, like, I don't know, 11 years, 12 years ago. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Really cool. Well, awesome.
So the moral of the story is like persistence, because like it took persistence to stay there for so long and change your life.
But also a desire, willingness to do it, right? A willingness to change. A lot of people persist, but they don't really have they're doing it because other people are telling them to do it. But if you want to, then you can change. And I think that's the theme of our talk here today. And that's what we did on the mountain. We just sat down, we shared stories, we learned about people. Maybe you could definitely come and join us next time. You can just listen if you want to. You don't have to feel pressure. No one has to feel pressure to tell a story, but we all have a story to tell. Look, before we end the show, I have to ask you, what's for dinner? What did you eat in the last 7 days, or what are you about to eat this evening that you enjoy? I didn't eat the banana bread dessert. I would have liked to try it, even though I think I would have tried it. But I did have coffee crisp ice cream, which is so delicious. It's like my favorite. What about y'all?
And I'm keep making cakes because I'm so addicted to the chiffon cake, and I have the persistence to make it until it's perfect. Because the biggest part is the egg white. So you have to beat it really bad so it goes really stiff, and so then you are not afraid of breaking it, so the cake won't sink. So eventually I reached this fluffiness. It's okay. Like finally it's fluffy enough. It doesn't sink in the middle anymore, and I was happy. And so from now on I was thinking whatever cake I make, I'm going to beat the egg white first and then mix after. It's going to be so much different.
Alright, that's good. I got to keep it in mind. Beat those egg whites badly. I like that. What about you, Sam?
Okay, so I remembered. So it's more what's for breakfast. So it's my crepes that I make, and I make them often enough. So I started making just crepes normally, white flour, blah blah blah, and then I started to be like, oh, crepes aren't that great for me. Like let me try and see what I can do. So now I make whole wheat crepes. I add chia seeds. I melt dark chocolate on it, 90% dark chocolate. I add so raspberries or blueberries, whatever fruits I have. I put peanut butter in there, and it's like so good, like so good. And it's like, yes, okay, it still is crepes, but it's like I know I'm getting nutrients. I know it's like generally healthy. It's organic maple syrup, So yeah, and I eat that like often enough. So that's mine.
And I can vouch for it. They do taste good, despite all of the healthiness to them. They're really, really good. Anyway, you guys, thank you again for another lovely show. Our friend, Valerie Soule couldn't be here, but if you want to find out more about her, go to thepowerofoemotions.ca. You can check out more about Sam at samanthabarley.com, and please check out her meetup, Self-Discovery in Montreal. And I want to say thank you to Beidi Wang for being here one more time. Tune in next week for another exciting episode of The Appreciationist. Take care, everybody.
Thank you. Bye.
Peter, sorry, the next meetups?
Yeah, Beidi, you can get going. Don't worry about it. I didn't know if you had time, so should we do it?
Yeah, quickly, because Val has one coming up. I have one coming up. Yeah. So I'll just say for Law of Attraction Montreal, the next meetup that's happening is actually tomorrow. Valerie's doing Être l'architecte de nos émotions. Mon Dieu. let me say that again. Être l'architecte de nos émotions, atelier en français. So that's with Val tomorrow at 6:30. There's still some space. Other than that, I have a group life coaching happening on Tuesday about loving yourself. So there's still some room there. This is with Self-Discovery Montreal, so you can find that if you go to my website, samanthabarley.com, or just meet up Self-Discovery Montreal. Yeah. Do you have anything you want to say, Peter?
That's it. I just want to say beat those eggs badly. Don't be afraid to challenge yourself. Go forth and be merry. Take care, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.